All right, so thank you for jumping on today for the Dickson Nest Fund Town Hall. Wanted to kind of spend some time today kind of giving everyone an update and just kind of leaving this open for general conversation and keep it a little informal so we can kind of just go over where we're at, what we've been doing, and kind of what's expected in the next couple of months. And we go from there. So to kind of kick it off, what I figured I'd do is just kind of highlight some just some kind of high points on what we've done in regards to acquisitions, funds raised, current earnings into the fund, and a little bit about the properties. So as of today, we've acquired 5 properties in total that we've closed on. We started acquisitions in first acquisitions were in February, and just to kind of as a refresher to kind of get an idea of where we're at in terms of timeline from when we started acquisitions and where we're at today. Acquisitions did not start until January of this year, and part of that was strategic to ensure that we kept any of the committed funds that you may have deposited during 2024 as funds held in trust or in subscription and not committed as equity. The big reason for that was we weren't looking to acquire there right at the end of the year, and we didn't want to incur a tax liability into the fund. So as a result, it allowed us to stay away from having to file a 1065 or a business return and then have to distribute K1s out to each of the investors. So funds went effective in January. We began acquisitions funds went effective in January, and we began acquisitions in February. So we've acquired 5 to date, total purchase of about $710,000. Comes out to an average of about $142,000 a home, which is right just a little below that average price point that we were targeting. Most of these are existing homes and includes one new one. In addition, we're in contract right now on an additional 4 new build properties, which we're pretty excited about. We got this opportunity in Mobile, Alabama to work with a developer there to buy 5 new builds that were designed as specifically as what they would call build to rents, and they're in a little suburb of Mobile, which is highly sought out for families in the area. It's a very the school district there is very highly ranked, and actually the elementary school that is about a little less than half mile from these homes is ranked number 3 in the entire state. So these will be great little starter homes for younger families that are trying to get established in this market where the homes are a little bit higher price point on the purchase side. So pretty excited about acquiring those. We're scheduled to close on the other 3 or 4 within the next hopefully 20 days here is what we're looking at. We're still working on that closing. So once we do that, we'll be at a total, we'll have acquired 9 properties and we'll have done about $1.6 million in acquisitions. In regards to acquisitions above and beyond that, we do have the majority of the homes for this fund identified. So we do have 4 other townhomes that are in development, and we're working on a developer with, but once we get closer to acquiring those, we'll share some more details on those properties. So pretty much right now we're with what we've acquired, what we're in contract with, and what we plan to purchase with this developer would pretty much build out the entire fund. We'd probably be able to buy about maybe 1 or 2 other homes, but we'll wait till we get through all those other closings and see where we're at, and that would put us at about 14 to 15 homes inside this fund, which is right within what I was what we were expecting, and is great size for this type of fund. So that's a little bit on the acquisition side. On funds raised to date, we're just about $1 million. We did jump up into the kind of 1.2 or a little bit higher range, and then we did have some people that had to back out, not for any reasons other than most of them were extenuating circumstances, some on the health side and some related to other family and other issues. So we do have, thanks to, with Danny coming onto our team here, who's on the call right now, we do have quite a few of other people that are looking to come in. So I do think we'll get back up into that targeted amount here pretty shortly. And then we'll close that out and begin working on setting up the fund, the next year's or the 2026 fund, which would start in the spring of next year. So a couple more high-level points. Right now, with the 5 homes that we have, the current average rent is at $1,350. And once we get to the full build out with the homes we have identified, we'll be at an average rent of about $1,800, which is very good, very strong for this portfolio. Average age, we're right about 40 years. Average age of the homes, because that was a question we did get last time we did this, because we do have a mix of older homes and then we're bringing some new ones in. So we're at about 40 years right now, and then once we get through full build out, we'll be at about 20 years would be the average age of the portfolio. And there is one home that's pretty much keeping that from being about 15 years. And then just for year-to-date operations, one thing, this is a real positive, is we have about $21,000 in collected rents through the end of June on a net operating income of $17,000, about $17,000. So that's an 82% operating margin, which is really great, and that's on our existing homes. So that's really strong. That doesn't include things like property taxes in right now. Property taxes, which those payments are going to start going out here in 1st of August for the second half payments of 25. So that'll bring that operating margin down. But to be sitting at 82% without taxes is, especially during the acquisition stage. One thing is, like in the cash flow models, which like a lot of those calculators and stuff that you might have played around with or built off of, I expect that we're actually operating at a negative cash flow or negative net operating income for the first year. And usually that has to do with just when you're onboarding properties, there's different expenses, dealing with different vacancies, getting rented up, lease up expenses, all things that kind of get tacked on while you're kind of getting the portfolio to kind of get stabilized and into its normal operating mode. So we're pretty pumped to see quite a strong operating margin or operating income through the first 6 months of the year. So that's kind of a high level overview of what we've done on acquisitions and where we are right now. So I guess at this point, let's kind of open it up to questions. Or Bo, if you had anything else that you wanted me to touch on, feel free to chime in there.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else more to add or touch on other than just, and this can be like the last thing that we round out with, is just the stuff that kind of you and Danny have worked on as far as initial making like a better portal system, update system, and so forth, which I think is a really neat feature that the fund will have.
Correct.
But specifically would love for just Barb's questions, if any, about Geoff's update and what the fund's doing so far.
No questions. I guess the update is really crucial because I was wondering and pinging Jaya and Kane. I'm like, what's happening? Am I making a contribution this year? I'm happy to do so. I want to do so, but I haven't heard from anybody. So just having a better system for communicating would be great. And I appreciate this call. Sorry I missed last month.
No, that's great. No, absolutely. Like there'll be, we kind of just hit the ground running there and got straight into acquisitions mode. And, we'll start doing these, we'll kind of come up with a regular schedule on these town halls. And then you'll start to see from Leslie or from our team, some more regular, just kind of generic updates and communications coming through. So.
That's all for me.
Okay.
Easy.
Well, yeah, very easy. I'll jump into the portal side. So since we kind of talked about the specifics of the fund, one of the things we've been working on, and this would also, Barb, kind of help to the point about, understanding, being able to check on where things are at on your own time, absent of having to wait for these types of calls or one-off kind of communication. So Danny is one of the things he's kind of really helped us start. What he's been building and working on is developing a portal that is actually online portal that's customized for the Dickson Nest Fund, and it'll be a place where each individual would have a their own individual user access. You'll see your own individual transactions that have been contributions, any kind of distributions, things like that. You'll see your investor statements. And then as we get into multiple funds, if you are invested in multiple Dickson Nest funds, you'll start to see each of the individual Nest funds that you're invested in and what those individual earnings are. So that's kind of the base foundation of the portal. And then with time, we'll be looking to add more features into there on, being able to drill into, the performance or the properties or different things like that related to each Dickson Nest Fund. So what we're going to be doing here within probably the next month or two, I would say. Danny, does that sound about right?
Yeah. If you'd like, I could give a quick little demo of it, or we can wait to the next month and unveil it.
Yeah, let's wait till we do the next call. But essentially the high level is that within the next probably month or two, we're going to be looking to release kind of the initial version of that, which would be the much more basic version, but it's going to give you that personalized access and the ability to see your own statements and just a portal, a document repository. And then we'll begin to add different features over the coming months and the next year. So so keep an eye out for communication on when we'll be launching that. We'll probably, like Danny said, maybe do like some demo days on that, and probably have some material on how to access it and use it coming up here.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's impressive what Danny's been able to put together there. So
Thanks. Yeah, I think it'll make it a lot easier to keep track of all your individual investments as well as the fund's performance over time, and it'll be a great tool for organization moving forward.
Yeah, that would be great. Cool.
all right. Well, any other thoughts?
I'm good for now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate Barbie joining us today.